день. Хочу обратиться с такой речью к вам, небольшой, поскольку спектакль на английском языке, но у нас довольно сложные переодевания, поэтому, я думаю, может быть, разумно будет не рассказывать вам содержание перед каждым актом, потому что язык — это оригинал, язык непростой, особенно для детей помладше, но вступительная речь будет сейчас небольшая. Значит, сегодня мы, ученики 9 и 10 классов и выпускники гимназии, показываем вам знаменитую комедию Оскара Уайльда «Идеальный муж». Пьеса называется «Комедией», но в ней происходит много драматических событий. Развенчиваются обманы, крушатся идеалы и рушатся надежды. Однако, как говорит героиня другой знаменитой комедии Оскара Уайльда, для хороших героев все кончается хорошо, а для плохих плохо. Конечно, это блестящая комедия с увлекательным сюжетом, большим количеством комических ситуаций, диалогов, знаменитых парадоксов Оскара Уайльда. Просто один пример приведу. Зачем вы сюда ходите? Там спрашивает герой. Толпа ничтожит, которые говорят ни о чем. Я люблю говорить ни о чем. Это единственное, о чем я что-нибудь знаю. Ну и прочее, да, прислушайтесь к ним, пожалуйста. Так вот, это, конечно, комедия, но в ней говорится об очень серьезных вещах. О том, что понятие «плохо» и «хорошо» не так прямолинейны, как себе представляет одна из главных героинь, Lady Chiltern. И что понимать людей и жить с людьми можно только имея милосердие, как говорит лорд Горинг, герой пьесы, и что основа жизни — это любовь. Но прежде чем я расскажу вам, значит, о том, что вы увидите в первом действии, там вообще 4 акта, будьте готовы. В первом акте я хочу выразить огромную благодарность всем участникам спектакля. Прежде всего, ребятам 9 класса, потому что для них это, в общем, первый большой спектакль, и сразу на английском языке. И моя доля в этом труде, который, в общем-то, коллективный, да, она на самом деле не намного превышает долю каждого участника. Ну, единственное, что идея моя, организация моя, но ребята проделали колоссальную работу, они выучили огромный текст на английском языке, они регулярно приезжали в школу в выходной день, мне кажется, мы с февраля месяца репетируем, оставались после уроков. В особенности я благодарна нашим выпускникам, Васе Cheveley, который совмещал репетиции с учебой в ВУЗе и очень помогал своим менее опытным коллегам на сцене, и Маше Ерохиной, которая, в общем, выручила меня, потому что я предлагала маленькую, но очень важную для сюжета роль 3 другим ученикам, ну вот и никто не согласился. Так что, Маша, спасибо. И, кстати, о маленьких ролях. Я очень признательна мальчикам 10 класса, Ване, Кириллу и Арсению, которые с радостью взялись за исполнение маленьких ролей. Ну и, конечно, я не могу не упомянуть Светлану Вячеславовну Золотухину, нашего костюмера, без которой, без работы которой, конечно, вот эта красота, которую вы видите на сцене, не могла бы состояться. А теперь о том, что мы увидим в первом акте. Итак, перед нами идеальная английская семья. Муж, сэр Роберт Чилтон, член парламента, товарищ министр иностранных дел, честный и неподкупный политик. Его жена, Lady Chiltern, Гертруда, женщина, которой неведомы ни слабость, ни соблазн. Она боготворит своего мужа и считает его воплощенным идеалом высоких моральных принципов, честности и порядочности, за что, как она сама говорит, она его и любит. Друг семьи, лорд Горинг, лорд Goring, безукоризненный денди, бездельник, любитель красивых фраз, но, как оказывается, серьезный и глубокий человек, философ, понимающий лучше других героев пьесы, что такое любовь и что такое честь. Сестра Роберта, мисс Мейбл, юная, очаровательная девушка, влюбленная в лорда Горинга. Она с ним флиртует, и он, естественно, флиртует с ней, и в конце пьесы между ними происходит трогательное объяснение в любви. Отец лорда Горинга, лорд Кавишем, ворчливый старик, вечно недовольный своим сыном. И на их горизонте появляется некая миссис Cheveley, беспринципная, но очаровательная интриганка и авантюристка, которая разрушает этот идиллический мир. Первое действие происходит в доме Чилтернов, прием. 2 молодые дамы, графиня Бейзелден и миссис Марчмонт, у которых по словам лорда Горинга, самые восхитительные мужья в Лондоне, жалуются на скуку своей жизни. Среди гостей также лорд Кавишем и атташе французского посольства в Лондоне Викон де Нанджак. И на этот прием еще одна гостья, леди Магби, приводит миссис Чивли. И тут выясняется, что леди Чилтон училась вместе с миссис Чивли в школе. И хорошо помнит, как та еще в школьные годы славилась бесчестностью и воровством. Но оказывается, в самом начале своей блестящей карьеры и Роберт Чилтон совершил бесчестный поступок. Будучи секретарем одного из чиновников в кабинете министров, он узнал о намерении правительства купить акции Суэцкого канала, который в это время строился, и сообщил об этом биржевому спекулянту барону Анхейму, за что и получил деньги, которые позволили ему пройти в парламент. Письмо, которое Роберт написал барону, оказалось в руках миссис Чивли. Она хочет нажиться на строительстве другого канала, аргентинского, и требует от Роберта его поддержки, угрожая публичным разоблачением. И перед тем, как уйти, миссис Чивли рассказывает Гертруде Чилтон о том обещании, которое ей дал ее муж. Гертруда уговаривает Роберта отказаться от него. Роберт, естественно, ни в чем не может ей признаться и вынужден написать миссис Чивли письмо с отказом. После ухода миссис Чивли из дома Чилтернов, Мейбл находит оставленную кем-то бриллиантовую брошь, а лорд Горинг забирает ее себе. Дело в том, что он ее узнал. Он эту брошь подарил своей кузине на свадьбу, а потом ее украли. И он хотел бы узнать, кто ее новый хозяин. Ой, роли, извините. Роли, да, пошло, даже у меня в конце написано. Значит, роли. Роберт Чилтон, да, наш идеальный муж. Влад Клокотский. Его жена, леди Чилтон, Георгия Чилтон, Софья Степанова. Лорд Горинг, Вася Пчелинцев. Сестра Роберта, мисс Мейбл, Настя Пападопулос. Отец лорда Горинга, лорд Кавишем, Филипп Цантекиди. Миссис Чивли, Маня Дроздова. Гости на приеме у Чилтонов: леди Магби, Маша Ерохина, графиня Бейзелден, Катя Макаровская, миссис Марчмонт, Арина Артюхова, Викон де Нанджак, Кирилл Кузнец, дворецкий в доме Чилтонов Мейсон, Ваня Ерохин и слуга лорда Горинга Фипс, Арсений Андрейкин. И декорации, я не сказала, девочки 9 класса.
I suppose so. Are you?
Yes. Horribly tedious party they give, don't they?
Horribly tedious. Never know where I go. Never know where I go anywhere.
I come here to be educated.
I hate being educated.
So do I. But dear Gertrude Chiltern is always telling me that you should have some serious purpose in life. So I come here to try to find one.
I don't see anybody here tonight whom one could possibly call a serious purpose. The man who took me in to dinner talked to me about his wife the whole time.
How very trivial of him.
Terribly trivial. What did your man talk about?
About myself.
And were you interested?
Not in the smallest degree.
Lord Caversham.
Good evening, Lady Chiltern. Is my good for nothing son here?
I don't think Lord Goring has arrived yet.
Why do you call Lord Goring good for nothing?
Because he leads such an idle life.
How can you say so? He writes at 10 o'clock in the morning, goes to the opera 3 times a week, changes his clothes 5 times a day, and dines out every night.
You are a very charming young lady.
How sweet of you to say that, Lord Caversham.
Lady Magby, Mrs. Cheveley.
Good evening, dear Gertrude. So kind of you to let me bring my friend, Mrs. Cheveley. Two such charming women should know each other.
I think Mrs. Cheveley and I have met before.
But have we really, Lady Chiltern? I can't remember where.
We were at school together, Mrs. Cheveley.
Indeed. I have forgotten all about my school days. Do you know, I'm quite looking forward to meeting your clever husband, Lady Chiltern.
I hardly think there will be much in common between you and my husband, Mrs. Cheveley.
Chère madame, quelle surprise! I have not seen you since Berlin.
Not since Berlin, Vicomte. 5 years ago.
And you are younger and more beautiful than ever. How do you manage it?
By making it a rule only to talk to perfectly charming people like yourself.
Ah, you flatter me. You butter me, as they say here.
Do they say that here?
Yes, they have a wonderful language.
Good evening, Lady Magby. I hope you have brought joy with you.
Oh, I have brought a much more charming person. Let me introduce you. My dear, Sir Robert Chiltern is dying to know you.
Everyone is dying to know the brilliant Mrs. Cheveley.
Thank you, Sir Robert. An acquaintance that begins with a compliment is sure to develop into a real friendship.
Do sit down and tell me, what makes you leave your brilliant Vienna for our gloomy London?
Oh, I wanted to meet you and to ask you to do something for me.
I hope it is not a little thing, Mrs. Cheveley.
No, I don't think so.
I'm very glad. Tell me what it is.
Later on. And now, may I walk through your beautiful house? I hear your pictures are charming. Baron Arning used to tell me you had some wonderful carrots.
Do you know Baron Arning well?
Intimately, did you?
At one time.
Wonderful man, wasn't he?
Very remarkable.
Lord Goring.
Good evening, my dear friend. Mrs. Cheveley. Allow me to introduce you to you, Lord Goring.
I have met Lord Goring before.
I did not. Would remember, Mrs. Cheveley.
My memory is under admirable control.
May I ask, are you staying in London long?
That depends partly on the weather, partly on the cooking, and partly on Sir Robert.
You are very late.
Have you missed me?
Awfully.
Then I'm sorry, I did not stay away longer.
How very selfish of you.
I'm very selfish.
You are always telling me of your bad qualities, Lord Goring.
I have only told. You have of them as yet, Miss Mabel.
Are the others very bad?
Quite dreadful.
Well, I delight in your bad qualities. I wouldn't have you part the fun of them.
How very nice of you. But then you're always nice. By the way, I want to ask you a question, Miss Mabel. Who brought Mrs. Cheveley here?
Oh, I think Lady Monty brought her. Why do you ask?
I haven't seen her for years. That is all.
I dislike her already.
That shows your admirable good taste.
Ah, the English young lady is a dragon of good taste. Is she not?
So the newspapers are always telling us.
I read all your English newspapers. I find them so amusing.
Then, my dear Ninja, you must certainly read between the lines.
I should like to. And may I have the pleasure of escorting you to the music room, mademoiselle?
Delighted, Vicomte. Quite delighted. Aren't you coming to the music room?
Not if there is any music going on, Miss Mabel.
The music is in German. You would not understand it.
Well, sir, what are you doing here? Wasting your life as usual. You should be in bed. You keep 2 late hours. I heard of you the other night dancing till 4 o'clock in the morning.
Only 3:45, Father.
Can't make out how you stand London society. A lot of nobodies talking about nothing.
Oh, I love talking about nothing. It is the only thing I know anything about.
You are heartless, sir. Very heartless.
I hope not, Father. Good evening, Lady Pezzledon.
Are you here? I had no idea you came to political parties.
I adore political parties. They are the only place where people don't talk politics.
I delight in talking politics. but I can't bear listening to them. I don't know how the unfortunate man in the house stands this long debate.
By never listening.
Really?
Of course, you see, it is very dangerous to listen. If one listens, one may be convinced.
Ah, that accounts for so much in man that I have never understood, and so much in women that their husbands never appreciate.
Our husbands never appreciate anything in us. We have to go to others for that.
And those are the views of the two ladies who have the most admirable husbands in London.
That is exactly what we can't stand. My Reginald is quite hopelessly faultless.
How terrible!
Basildon is quite as bad.
My poor Olivia, we have very perfect husbands, and we are well punished for it.
I should thought that it was husbands who were punished.
I am afraid Lord Goring is in the camp of the enemy, as usual. I saw him talking to that Mrs. Cheveley.
Handsome woman, Mrs. Cheveley.
Why are you talking about Mrs. Cheveley? Everybody is talking about her. Lord Goring says. What did you say, Lord Goring, about Mrs. Cheveley? Oh, I remember. That she was a genius in the daytime and a beauty at night.
What a horrid combination. So very unnatural.
And I go to any of the country houses we're living at, Mrs. Cheveley.
Oh no, my stay in England really depends on you, Sir Robert.
Seriously?
Quite seriously, I want to talk to you about a great political and financial scheme. About the Argentine Canal Company, in fact. You are interested, I know, in international canal schemes. You were Lord Redler's secretary, weren't you? When the government bought the Suez Canal share.
Yes, but the Suez Canal was a splendid undertaking. The Argentine scheme is a stock exchange swindle. I hope you have not invested in it.
I have invested very largely in it.
Who could have advised you to do such a foolish thing?
Baron Arne.
Ah, I have no advice to give you, Mrs. Cheveley. I'm going to the report before the House tomorrow night.
That you must not do. In your own interests, Sir Robert, to say nothing of mine.
In my own interests? My dear Mrs. Cheveley, what do you mean?
Sir Robert, I want you to withdraw the report on the ground that you have reasons to believe that the commissioners have been misinformed.
Mrs. Cheveley cannot be serious.
I am quite serious. And if you do that, I will pay you very handsomely.
Pay me?
Yes.
If you will allow me, I will call courage for you, Mrs. Cheveley. You live so long abroad that you seem to be unable to realize that you are talking to an English gentleman.
I realize that I am talking to a man who laid the foundation of his fortune by selling to a stock exchange speculator a cabinet secret.
What do you mean?
I mean that I know the real origin of your wealth and your career. And I have your letter too.
What's letter?
The letter you wrote to Baron Arne, telling him to buy Suez Canal shares 3 days before the government announced its own purchase.
It is not true.
You thought that letter had been destroyed. How foolish of you!
I will give you any sum of money you want.
Even you are not rich enough, Sir Robert, to buy back your past. No monies.
My God, what brought you into my life?
Circumstances.
Don't go. I consent.
Thank you. I knew we should come to an agreement. And now you can get my carriage for me, Sir Robert. What a charming house you have, Lady Chiltern. I have spent a delightful evening. It has been so interesting getting to know your husband.
Why did you wish to meet my husband, Mrs. Cheveley?
Oh, I wanted to interest him in the Argentine canal scheme. And I found him most susceptible. He's going to make a speech in the House tomorrow night in favor of the idea.
Your courage is here, Mrs. Cheveley.
Thank you. Good evening, Lady Chiltern. Will you see me down, Sir Robert? Now that we have both the same interests at heart, we shall be great friends.
What a horrid woman.
You should go to bed, Miss Mabel.
Lord Goring.
My father told me to go to bed, and I will go. I always pass on good advice.
Lord Goring, you are always ordering me out of the room. I think it most courageous of you. You can come and sit down if you want. What is this? Someone has dropped a diamond brooch. Quite beautiful, isn't it?
I wonder who dropped it.
It is a beautiful brooch.
It is a handsome bracelet. It can be used as a bracelet.
What are you doing?
Miss Mabel, I'm going to make you a rather strange request to you.
Oh, pray do. I have been waiting for you all the evening.
Don't mention to anybody that I have charge of this brooch.
That is a strange request.
Well, you see, I gave this brooch to somebody years ago.
Indeed.
Yes.
Then I shall certainly bid you good night. Good night, Gertrude.
Good night, dear. Good night.
Good night, Lady Chiltern.
How beautiful you look tonight, Gertrude.
Robert, it is not true, is it? You are not going to lend your support to this Argentine speculation.
Who told you I intended to do so?
Mrs. Cheveley. Robert, I know this woman. We were at school together. She was untruthful, dishonest. She stole things. She was a thief.
Gertrude, this happened many years ago. Mrs. Cheveley may have changed since then. No one should be judged by their past.
It is the only way by which people should be judged.
That is hard saying, Gertrude.
And what did she mean by boasting that she had your support in this speculation?
There was a mistake in the view I took.
But you told me yesterday that the report condemned the whole thing.
I have reasons to believe that the commission was misinformed.
Robert, are you telling me the whole truth?
Why do you ask me such a question?
Why do you not answer it?
Gertrude, truth is a very complex thing, and politics is a very complex business. Sooner or later, one has to compromise.
Compromise? Robert, is there in your life any secret dishonor or disgrace? Tell me at once that
What?
our lives may drift apart.
Gertrude, there is nothing in the path of life that you might not know.
I was sure of it, Robert. I was sure. You were right, won't you, to Mrs. Cheveley, and tell her that you cannot support this scheme of hers?
I might see her personally, so it would be better.
You must never see her again, Robert. No, you must write to her right now. This moment.
But it's so late.
That makes no matter. She must know at once that she has been mistaken in you. Yes, that will do. Have this letter sent at once to Claridge's Hotel. There is no answer. Robert, I feel tonight that I have saved you from something that might have been a danger to you.
Put on the lights, Mason. Put on.
рассказывает лорду Горингу о том, в какой ситуации он оказался, и просит его повлиять на свою жену, Lady Chiltern. Лорд Горинг в разговоре с Lady Chiltern пытается намекнуть ей, что она немного слишком неизгибаема в своих взглядах на жизнь, и что политическая карьера не дается человеку без компромиссов. В конце концов, он просит ее в трудную минуту обратиться за помощью к нему. Миссис Чивли приходит в дом Чилтернов, чтобы узнать, не у них ли она потеряла свою бриллиантовую брошь. И слово за слово рассказывает Гертруде о прошлом поступке ее мужа. Между Гертрудой и Робертом происходит бурное объяснение, в котором жена обвиняет мужа в том, что он оказался не таким идеальным, каким она его себе представляла, а муж обвиняет жену в том, что она возвела его на ненужный пьедестал. И после этого Гертруда пишет письмо лорду Горингу: «Верю, хочу видеть, приду».
My dear Robert, I should like to have a serious talk with Lady Chiltern.
If I couldn't, I would have lost the love of the one woman in the world I worship.
Is Lady Chiltern as perfect as that?
Yes, she is.
Well, I should like to have a serious talk with Lady Chiltern.
It would be quite useless. Rafa, do you despise me for what I have told you?
I'm very sorry for you, Robert. Very sorry indeed.
Thank you, Rafa, but what can be done? The only thing for me to do now is to find the thing out.
Yes, and we must begin by telling you why the whole story.
That I will not do.
Robert, you are wrong.
Rafa, I couldn't. It would kill her love for me. And now about this woman, Mrs. Cheveley, did you know her well?
So little that I got engaged to be married to her once. By the way, have you tried her with money?
I offered her any sum she wanted. She refused.
Robert, you must fight her.
But how?
I can't tell you how at present. I have not the smallest idea. But everyone has some weak points.
I will fight into her to the death. As long as my wife knows nothing.
Goodbye, dear.
Hush, I can hear her voice.
Good afternoon, Lord Goring.
Good afternoon, Lady Chiltern. Have you been in the park?
No, I have just come from Women Liberal Association to have my tea. You will wait and have some tea, won't you?
I'll wait. Thanks.
I'll be back in a moment.
I'll see you soon again, Alpha. Shan't I?
Certainly. Whenever you like.
Thank you.
Do sit down. I'm so glad you have called. I wanted to talk to you about...
Mrs. Cheveley.
Yes, you have guessed. After you left last night, I made Robert write her a letter, withdrawing his promise.
So he gave me to understand.
To have kept it would have been the first stain on a career that has always been stainless. Don't you agree with me? Speak to me frankly.
Quite frankly?
Surely.
My dear Lady Chiltern, if you will allow me to say so, that in practical life,
Of which you know so little, Lord Goring.
of which I know nothing by experience, though I know anything by observation. In practical life, once a man has set his heart on getting to a certain point, if he has to climb the crack, he climbs the crack. If he has to walk in the mire,
Well,
he walks in the mire. Of course, I'm talking generally about life.
I hope so. Why do you look at me so strangely, Lord Goring?
Lady Chiltern, sometimes I thought that Perhaps you are a little hard on some of your views on life. Supposing, for instance, that any public man, my father or Lord Merton or Robert, say had years ago written some foolish letter to someone.
What do you mean by a foolish letter?
A letter gravely compromising one's position.
Robert is incapable of doing a foolish thing.
Nobody is incapable of doing a foolish thing.
Are you a pessimist?
No, Lady Chiltern, I am not a pessimist. All I know is that life cannot be understood and lived without much charity, and if you are ever in trouble, Lady Chiltern, trust me absolutely, and I will help you in every way I can.
Lord Goring, you are talking quite seriously.
You must excuse me, Lady Chiltern. It won't take you again.
But I like you to be serious.
Dear Gertrude, don't say such a dreadful thing to Lord Goring. You got to know Lord Goring, treat us Cheveley as you can.
I should like to, Miss Mabel, but I am afraid I am a little out of practice this morning. And besides, I have to be going out.
Just when I have come in, what dreadful manners you have. I'm sure you were very badly brought up.
I was.
I wish I had brought you up.
I'm so sorry you didn't.
It is too late now, I suppose.
I'm not so sure.
Will you write tomorrow morning?
Yes, it's done.
Don't forget.
Of course I shan't. Goodbye, Lady Chiltern. You will remember what I said to you, won't you?
Yes, but I don't know why you said it to me.
I hardly know myself. Goodbye, Miss Mabel.
I must go out now and rehearse at Lady Besselton's. Oh, Gertrude, do you know who's coming to see you? That dreadful Mrs. Cheveley.
Mrs. Cheveley? Coming to see me? Impossible.
I assure you she's coming upstairs.
You need not wait, Graeco.
Lady Markby, Mrs. Cheveley.
Dear Lady Markby, how nice of you to come and see me. Won't you sit down, Mrs. Cheveley?
Dear Gertrude, we just called to know if Mrs. Cheveley's diamond brooch has been found.
Yeah, I've heard nothing about it, but I'll send for the butler and ask.
Oh, pray, don't trouble Lady Chiltern.
What sort of brooch was it that she lost, Mrs. Cheveley?
A diamond snake brooch with a ruby.
Has a ruby and diamond snake brooch been found in any of the rooms this morning, Mason?
No, my lady.
It really is of no consequence, Lady Chiltern.
That will do, Mason. You can drink tea.
Well, I must say it is most annoying to lose anything.
May I give you some tea, Mrs. Cheveley?
Thanks.
Some tea, Lady Markby?
No thanks, dear. The fact is, dear Gertrude, I have promised to go round for 10 minutes to see poor Lady Brancaster, who is in very great trouble. And now, if you will allow me, I shall leave Mrs. Cheveley in your charge. No doubt you both have many pleasant memories to talk over together.
Goodbye, Lady Markby.
Wonderful woman, Lady Markby, isn't she?
Mrs. Cheveley, I think it is right to tell you quite frankly that had I known who you really were, I should not have invited you to my house last night.
Really? I see that after all these years, you have not changed, Gertrude.
I never change.
Then life has taught you nothing?
It has taught me that a person who has once been guilty of a dishonest action may be guilty of it a second time.
Would you apply the rule to everyone?
Yes, to everyone.
Then I'm sorry for you, Gertrude. Very sorry. You dislike me, and I have always detested you. And yet, I have come here to do you a service.
Like the service you wished to render my husband last night. Thank heaven I saved him from that.
It was you who made him break his promise.
Yes.
Then you must make him keep it. I hold your husband in the hollow of my hand. And if you are wise, you will make him do what I want.
How dare you class my husband with yourself? Leave my house. You are unfit to enter it.
Your house? A house bought with the price of dishonor. Ask him what the origin of his fortune is. Get him to tell you how he sold to a stockbroker a cabinet secret.
It is not true. Robert, it is not true.
Go at once. You have done your worst.
I have not finished with you yet. I give the boat till tomorrow at noon. If by then you don't do what I bid you to do, the whole world shall know the origin of Robert Chiltern.
Show Mrs. Cheveley out.
You sold a cabinet secret for money. You began your life with fraud. Oh, tell me it is not true. Lie to me.
Gertrude, listen to me. Let me tell you the whole thing.
Don't come near me. Don't touch me. I feel as you have sold me forever. You lied to the whole world, and yet you will not lie to me.
Gertrude.
No, don't speak. Say nothing. How I worshipped you. The word seems to refine it because you were in it. And now, oh, when I think that I made of a man like you my ideal.
There was your mistake. Why can't you women love us? Faults and all. Why do you place us on monstrous pedestals? It is not the perfect, but the imperfect. You have need of love. I had not the courage to tell you my weaknesses. I was afraid that you might lose your love. And now, there for me but public disgrace, a terrible shame, a lonely life. Yet women make no more ideals of men than will ruin other lives as completely as you have ruined mine.
Важный акт в доме лорда Горинга. Получив письмо Гертруды, он понимает, что она скоро придет и собирается отдать распоряжение своему слуге, чтобы никого не принимать. Однако в этот момент приходит его отец, лорд Кавишем, с серьезным разговором о необходимости жениться. Лорд Горинг его с трудом выпроваживает и отдает распоряжение слуге проводить даму в гостиную. Однако вместо Гертруды Чилтон приходит миссис Cheveley. Слуга, который не знает, какую даму ждет его хозяин, приглашает ее в гостиную. Та удивляется, но понимает, что лорд Горинг ждет какую-то даму. И ей очень интересно, какую. Тут она находит на столе письмо Гертруды Чилтон и узнает ее почерк. Проводив отца, лорд Горинг на пороге дома сталкивается с Робертом Чилтерном, который просит его срочно принять, потому что его жена узнала правду. Лорд Горинг пытается предупредить дворецкого, чтобы тот отказал даме, но та оказывается уже в гостиной. Ну тогда, полагая, что в соседней комнате находится жена Роберта Чилтона, лорд Горинг пытается вести разговор, обращаясь к ним обоим. Но когда Роберт хочет рассказать лорду Горингу о том, с какой речью он намерен выступить в парламенте, они слышат шум из соседней комнаты. Роберт идет туда и находит там миссис Cheveley. Возвращаясь, он обрушивает на лорда Горинга обвинение в предательстве. Тот же, думая, что Роберт обнаружил свою жену, пытается ее оправдать. Но тот в гневе уходит, а лорд Горинг с изумлением узнает, что в гостиной была миссис Cheveley. Та пришла, чтобы продать ему письмо Роберта Чилтерна. В обмен на него она предлагает лорду Горингу жениться на ней. Дело в том, что он был влюблен в миссис Чивли и даже делал ей предложение. Но сейчас он влюблен в Мейбл. И, естественно, он ей отказывает. Миссис Чивли просит на прощание пожать ей руку, но лорд Горинг с возмущением говорит: нет, вам я руки не подам. Вы пришли сюда говорить о любви, а между тем сегодня днем отправились в дом одной из самых благородных женщин на свете, чтобы убить ее любовь к своему мужу. Вы ко мне несправедливы, говорит миссис Чивли. Я только хотела узнать, не нашлась ли у Чилтернов брошь, которую я потеряла. Брошь-то нашлась. Мы знаем, что она у лорда Горинга. Но это брошь с секретом. Там есть пружинка, которая превращает ее в браслет. Лорд Горинг надевает браслет на руку миссис Чивли, а та, поскольку она его украла и не знает всех его особенностей, не может его снять, не знает, где пружина. Лорд Горинг угрожает ей тем, что вызовет полицию и заставляет ее отдать ему письмо Роберта Чилтона. Но в отместку миссис Чивли кладет у него письмо Гертруды и посылает его Роберту, чтобы уличить его жену в измене.
Got my second battle hall for me, please?
Yes, my lord.
Don't think a quiet lace buttonhole, Phibbs. Makes me a little too old.
I don't observe any alteration in your lordship's appearance.
You don't, Phibbs?
No, my lord.
Any letters, Phibbs?
3, my lord.
That will do.
Yes, my lord.
Lady Chiltern, note paper, or Lady Chiltern's pink note paper. Wonder what she has got to say to me. I want you, I trust you, I am coming to you, Gertrude. So she has found out everything. Poor woman. But what an hour to call? Ten o'clock. She should be here soon.
Lord Caversham.
Why will parents always appear at the wrong time? Delighted to see you, my dear father.
Take my cloak off.
Is it worthwhile, father?
Of course it is worthwhile, sir. Which is the most comfortable chair?
This one, father.
Thank you. No draft, I hope, in this room?
No, father.
Glad to hear it. Constant drafts. Want to have a serious conversation with you, sir.
My dear father, at this hour?
Well, sir, it's only 10 o'clock.
Well, the fact is, father, that is probably not my day for talking seriously.
What do you mean, sir?
During the season, father, I only talk seriously on the first Tuesday of every month, from 4 to 7.
Well, make it Tuesday, sir. Make it Tuesday.
But it's after 7, and my doctor says I must not have any serious conversation after 7. It makes me talk in my sleep.
Talk in your sleep, sir. What does that matter? You're not married.
No, father, I am not.
That is what I have come to talk to you about, sir. You have got to get married, and at once. Every man of position is married nowadays. Look where your friend Robert Chiltern has got to by a sensible marriage. Why don't you imitate him, sir?
I think I shall, father.
I wish you would, sir. Then I would be happy. You are heartless, sir. Quite heartless.
I hope not, father.
You are 34 years of age, and there is a draft in your room besides, which makes your conduct worse. I feel it distantly.
So do I, father. It is a dreadful draft. I will come and see you tomorrow, father. Let me help you on with your clock.
No, sir. I have called this evening for a definite purpose, and I'm going to take it to a tall cost. To my half, or yours. Put down my cloak, sir.
Certainly, father. But let us go into another room. Peeps, is there a good pipe in the smoking room?
Yes, my lord.
Come in there, father. Peeps, there is a lady coming to see me on particular business. Show her into the drawing room when she arrives. Understand?
Yes, my lord.
No one else is to be admitted under any circumstances.
I understand, my lord.
Ah, that is probably the lady. I shall see for myself.
Well, sir, am I to wait on you?
In a moment, father. Well, remember my instructions, Phipps. Into that room.
Yes, my lord.
Is Lord Goring not here?
His lordships told me to ask you, madam, to be kind enough to wait in the drawing room.
Lord Goring expects me?
Yes, madam.
Are you quite sure?
His lordship's directions on the subject were very precise.
How thoughtful of him. No, I don't get that lamp. Light some candles.
Certainly, madam.
I wonder what woman he's waiting for tonight. It will be delightful to catch him. Wonder what his correspondence is like. Who on earth writes to him on pink paper? How silly to write on pink paper. I know that handwriting. That is Gertrude Chiltern's. Wonder what Gertrude is writing to him about. Something horrid about me, I suppose. I trust you, I want you, I'm coming to you, Gertrude.
The candles in the drawing room are lit, madam.
Thank you.
My dear father, if I am to get married, surely you will allow me to choose the person.
That is a matter for me, sir. You would probably make a very poor choice.
Certainly, father. In married life, affection comes when people thoroughly dislike each other. Doesn't it, father?
Certainly, sir. I mean, certainly not, sir. You're talking very foolishly tonight.
I hope not, father.
My dear Arthur, what a piece of luck meeting you at the doorstep. Your stomach had just told me you were not at home.
Robert, the fact is, I am horribly busy tonight, and I gave orders that I was not at home to anyone.
Ah, you must be at home to me, Arthur. You're my best friend. My wife has discovered everything.
Ah, I guessed as much.
Really? How?
Oh, by something in the expression of your face. Who told her?
Mrs. Cheveley herself. Arthur, I don't know what to do. And you're my only friend. I can trust you absolutely, can't I?
Certainly. Robert, will you excuse me for a moment? I want to give some direction to my servant.
Certainly.
Phipps, when that lady calls, tell her that I'm not expected at home. You understand?
The lady is in that room, my lord. You told me to show her into that room.
You did perfectly right. What a mess I am in. No, I shall get through it. I'll give her a lecture through the door.
Arthur, tell me what I should do.
Robert, you love your wife, don't you?
I like her more than anything in the world. But Arthur, she has found me out.
Has she never in her life done some folly, some indiscretion, that she should not forgive your sin?
My wife? Never! She does not know what weakness or temptation is.
Your wife will forgive you. Perhaps at this moment she is forgiving you. She loves you, Robert. Why she should not forgive?
God granted. But there is something more I have to tell you. I have made up my mind what I'm going to do in the house tomorrow night. What that?
Nothing.
He did cheerful in the next room.
No, you didn't.
There is someone.
Robert, you are excited and not. I told you that there is no one in that room. Sit down, Robert.
Do you give me your vote of honor?
Yes.
Arthur, let me see for myself.
No.
If there is no one there, why should I look in that room?
Robert, this must stop. I have told you that there is no one in that room.
I insist on going into that room.
For God's sake, don't! There is someone there.
Ah, I thought so.
I forbid you to enter that room.
Stand back. My life is at stake. I will know to whom I have told my secret.
Great heavens. His own wife.
What explanation have you to give, sir?
Robert, I swear to you on my honor that that lady is stainless and guiltless.
She's a vile and infamous thing.
Don't say that, Robert. It was for your sake she came here.
You're mad. What I have to do with her intrigues with you? You will see to each other. She, corrupt and shameful. You, pose as a friend.
It is not true, Robert. I will explain all.
Let me pass, sir. You have lied enough upon your vote of honor.
Good evening, Lord Goring.
Lady Chiltern, Mrs. Cheveley. Great heavens! May I ask what you were doing in my drawing room?
Merely listening.
I am glad you have called. I am going to give you some good advice.
Oh, pray don't. One should never give a woman anything that she can't wear in the evening.
I see you are quite as willful as you used to be. So, you have come here to sell me Robert Chiltern's letter, haven't you?
To offer it to you on conditions.
What is your price for it?
Why, my dear Arthur? Money is not what I want.
What do you want then, Mrs. Cheveley?
Why don't you call me Laura?
I don't like the name.
You used to adore it.
Yes, that's why.
Arthur, you loved me once,
Yes,
and you asked me to be your wife.
that was the natural result of my loving you.
At that time, I was poor. You were rich.
That is why you pretended to love me.
I loved you, Arthur.
My dear Mrs. Cheveley, you have always been far too clever to know anything about love.
I have arrived at the romantic stage. When I saw you last night at the Chilterns, I knew you were the only person I had ever cared for, Arthur. And so, on the morning of the day you marry me, I will give you Robert Chiltern's letter. That is my offer.
Are you really serious?
Yes, quite serious.
I should make you a very bad husband.
I don't mind bad husbands. I have had two. They amused me immensely.
You mean that you amused yourself immensely, don't you?
Then, you're going to allow your greatest friend, Robert Chiltern, to be ruined. I thought you'd have risen to some great height of self-sacrifice, and the rest of your life you can spend in contemplating your own perfections.
Oh, I do that as it is.
Well, I suppose this romantic interview will be regarded as a plan. If Sir Robert doesn't uphold my Argentine scheme, I expose him. That is all. I must go. Goodbye. Want to shake hands?
With you? No. Your transaction with Robert Chiltern may pass as a commercial transaction of a commercial age. But you seem forgotten that you, who came here tonight to talk of love, went this afternoon to the one of the most noble and gentle women in the world, to degrade her husband in her eyes, and to kill her love for him.
Arthur, you're unjust to me. I called simply to ask whether an ornament, a jewel that I lost somewhere last night, has been found at the Chilterns.
A diamond snake brooch with a ruby?
Yes, how do you know?
Because it is found. This is the brooch, isn't it?
Yes, I'm so glad to get it back. It was a present.
Won't you wear it?
Certainly, if you pin it in. Why do you put it on as a bracelet? I never knew it could be worn as a bracelet. It looks very well on me as a bracelet, doesn't it?
Yes, much better than when I saw it last.
When did you see it last?
Oh, 10 years ago, on Lady Berkshire, from whom you stole it.
What do you mean?
I mean that you stole that ornament from my cousin, Mary Berkshire, to whom I gave it when she got married.
It is not true.
You know it's true.
I'll deny the whole affair from beginning to end.
You can't get this bracelet off, unless you know where the spring is.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to ring to my servant and fetch the police.
The police? Don't do that! I'll do anything you want.
Give me Robert Chiltern's letter.
I have not got it with me.
You know you are lying. Give it me at once. This is it?
Yes. Please, get me a glass of water.
Certainly.
Thanks. Will you help me on with my cloak?
With pleasure.
Thank you. I'm never going to try to harm Robert Chiltern again. On the contrary, I'm going to render him a great service.
I am charmed to hear it.
Yes, I can't bear so upright a gentleman being so shamefully deceived.
What do you mean?
I mean that I'm going to send Robert Chiltern the love letter his wife wrote to you tonight.
Love letter?
I want you, I trust you, I'm coming to you, Gertrude.
You wretched woman! Give me back that letter!
Lord Goring merely rang that you should show me out. Good night, Lord Goring.
На утро лорд Горинг отправляется к Чилтернам, чтобы рассказать обо всем Гертруде. И уговорить ее сказать Роберту правду и о своем прошлом, и об этом письме. Она отказывается. Но Роберт, получив письмо Гертруды, верю, хочу видеть, приду, думает, что оно адресовано ему, и что жена его простила. И Гертруда позволяет ему остаться в этом заблуждении. Приходит в дом лорд Кавиша с известием о том, что Роберту Чилтерну предлагает место в кабинете министров. Но он отказывается и объявляет о своем намерении завершить свою политическую карьеру. И Гертруда одобряет решение мужа. Но тут вмешивается лорд Горинг, который уговаривает Гертруду не принимать от Роберта столь большой жертвы. В качестве благодарности он просит согласия Роберта Чилтона на свой брак с его сестрой Мейбл. Объяснение мы увидим в этом акте. Но Роберт говорит: нет, я не могу благословить ваш брак. По какой причине? Ты хочешь, чтобы я об этом сказал? Да, конечно, говорит лорд Горинг. Вчера вечером, когда я пришел к тебе домой, я застал в твоем доме женщину, другую женщину. Тут нечего сказать, конечно же. Но приходится все-таки Гертруде Чилтерн рассказать мужу всю правду о том, кому адресовано было это письмо и как оно попало в руки ее мужа. И тогда Роберт соглашается на брак лорда Горинга и Мейбл, которая в этот момент появляется на сцене вместе с лордом Кавишем. И тот с изумлением обнаруживает, что эта умная, очаровательная молодая леди приняла предложение его беспутного сына и с радостью знает о том, что Роберт Чилтерн принял предложение премьер-министра. И в завершении лорд Кавишем говорит своему сыну, лорду Горингу: если вы не будете для этой молодой девушки идеальным мужем, я лишу вас наследства. Но Мейбл не хочет, чтобы у нее был идеальный муж. И на слова отца: вы ее не заслуживаете, сэр, лорд Горинг говорит: мой дорогой отец, если бы мы, мужчины, женились на женщинах, которых мы заслуживаем, плохо бы нам пришлось.
I can't find anyone in that house to talk to, and I am so full of information.
So Robert is still at the Foreign Office, my lord.
Lady Chiltern not down yet?
Her ladyship has not yet left her room. Miss Chiltern has just come in from riding.
Ah, that is something. Good morning, Miss Mabel. Good morning, Miss Mabel.
Oh, I'm here. Of course you understand that after you breaking your appointment, I'm never going to speak to you again.
Oh, don't say such a thing.
People who don't keep their appointments in the park are horrid.
Detestable.
I'm glad you admit it, but I wish you wouldn't look so pleased about it.
I can't help it. I was awfully looked pleased when I am with you.
Then I suppose it is my duty to remain with you?
Please do, Miss Mabel. I have something very particular to say to you.
Oh, is it a proposal?
Well, yes, it is. I am bound to say it is.
I'm so glad. That makes the second today.
The second? Who has dared to propose to you?
Tommy Trafford, of course. It is one of Tommy's days for proposing.
You didn't accept him, I hope.
I make it a rule never to accept Tommy.
Oh, Tommy Trafford. I love you.
I know. And I think you might have mentioned it before.
Mabel, to be serious, I have told you that I love you. Can't you love me a little in return?
You silly Arthur. If you knew anything about anything, which you don't, you would know that I adore you.
Dear, do you know that I am awfully afraid of being refused? Of course, I'm not nearly good enough for you, Mabel.
I'm so glad, darling. I was afraid you were.
How sweet of you to say so.
And now I must go and see Gertrude.
Then, do tell her that I want to talk to her particularly. I was all the morning waiting either her or Robert.
Do you mean to say you didn't come here to propose to me?
No, that was the flash of genius.
Your first.
My last.
Good morning, Lord Goring.
Good morning, Lady Chiltern. I have very good news to tell you. Mrs. Cheveley gave me up Robert Chiltern's letter, and I burned it. Robert is safe.
Safe! I'm so glad of that.
There is only one person now who could be said to be in any danger.
Who is that?
Yourself.
I'm in danger? What do you mean?
Yesterday evening, you wrote me a very beautiful letter asking me for help. Mrs. Cheveley saw that letter.
Well, what use is it to her?
Lady Chiltern, Mrs. Cheveley put a certain construction on that letter and proposed to send it to your husband,
But what construction could she put in it?
Oh, no, not that.
We should tell Robert Chiltern's letter.
You want me to tell Robert that it was I who you thought was concealed in a room in your house at 10:30 at night?
I think it's better that he should know the exact truth.
Oh, I couldn't.
May I do it?
No.
You are wrong, Lady Chiltern. Ah, there is Robert coming upstairs with the letter in his hand. It reached him already.
Oh, you have saved his life. What have you done with mine?
I trust you. I want you. I'm coming to you, Gertrude. Oh, my love. If it's true, you didn't trust me and want me.
Yes,
Why did you not that you loved me?
because I love you.
Oh, Gertrude, you don't know what I feel. When I read your letter, I did not care what disgrace in store for me. I only thought you loved me still.
There is no disgrace in store for you. Mrs. Cheveley has handed over to Lord Goring the document that was in her possession, and he has destroyed it.
What? That I'm safe! Oh, what a wonderful thing it is! For 2 days I have been in terror. Arthur, I have to thank you for what you have done for me. I don't know how I can repay you.
My dear fellow, I'll tell you at once.
Lord Gaversham.
Good morning, Lady Chiltern. Warmest congratulations to you, Chiltern, on your brilliant speech last night. I have just left the Prime Minister, and you are to have the vacant seat in the cabinet.
A seat in the cabinet?
Certainly, and you will deserve it too. You have got what you want so much in political life nowadays. High character, high moral tone, high principles. Everything that you have not got, sir, and never will.
I don't like principles, Father.
I cannot accept this awful question. I have made up my mind to decline it.
Decline it, sir?
My intention is to retire at once from public life.
Decline a seat in the cabinet and retire from public life? Never heard such nonsense. I beg your pardon, Lady Chiltern. Will you kindly prevent your husband from making such...
I think my husband is right in his determination, Lord Caversham. I approve it. You will go and write your letter to the Prime Minister now, won't you?
I suppose so. I will ask you to excuse me for a moment, Lord Caversham.
I may come with you, Robert, may I not?
Yes, come.
What's the matter with this family? Something wrong here? Shan't stay in this house any longer.
Lady Chiltern, why are you playing Mrs. Cheveley's cards?
Lord Goring?
Lady Chiltern, allow me. Now is the moment when you really want my help. You love Robert. Do you want to kill his love for you? Women are not meant to judge us, but to forgive us when we need forgiveness. Don't make any terrible mistake, Lady Chiltern.
But it is my husband himself who wishes to retire from public life.
Rather than lose your love, Robert would do anything. He is making a terrible sacrifice. Take my advice, Lady Chiltern, and do not accept it. Robert has been punished enough.
We have both been punished. I set him up too high.
Do not, for that reason, set him down now too low.
Gertrude, here is the draft of my letter.
Let me see it.
What are you doing?
A man's life is of more value than a woman's. It has larger wishes, greater ambitions. I have just learned this, and much else with it from Lord Goring. And I will not spoil your life for you.
Gertrude, my wife. Arthur, it seems that I'm always to be in your debt.
Oh dear, no, Robert.
Now I owe you much, and now, tell me, what are you going to ask me?
Robert, you are your sister's guardian, and I want your consent to my marriage with her.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Thanks, Lady Chiltern.
My sister to be your wife?
Yes.
Alpha, I'm very sorry, but think out of the question. I have to think of Mabel's future happiness.
But I love Mabel. No other woman has any place in my life.
Robert, if they love each other, why should they not be married?
I cannot bring Mabel the love she deserves.
What reason have you to say so?
Do you really require me to tell you?
Certainly I do.
As you choose. When I called yesterday evening, I found Mrs. Cheveley concealed in the rooms. It was between 10 and 11 o'clock at night. I do not wish to say anything more. I cannot give my sister's life into her hands.
I have nothing more to say.
Robert, it was not Mrs. Cheveley whom Lord Goring expected last night.
Not Mrs. Cheveley? Who was her then?
Lady Chiltern.
It was your own wife. Robert, yesterday afternoon, Lord Goring told me that if ever I was in trouble, I could come to him for help. Later on, I wrote that I was coming for him. Yes, that letter. Mrs. Cheveley stole it and sent it to you this morning, that you should think... Oh, Robert, I cannot tell you what she wished to think.
What? Have they fallen so low in your eyes that you thought that even for a moment I've doubted her goodness? Alpha, you can go to Mabel and you have my best wishes.
Lord Goring, I think your father's conversation much more important than yours.
Darling. What does this mean, sir? You don't mean to say that this charming, clever young lady has been so foolish as to accept you?
Certainly, father. And Chiltern's been wise enough to accept the seat in the cabinet.
I'm very glad to hear that, Chiltern. If the country doesn't go to the dogs, we shall have you Prime Minister someday. But your career will have to be entirely domestic.
Yes, father.
And if you don't make this young lady an ideal husband, I'll cut you off with a shilling.
An ideal husband? Oh, I don't think I should like that.
What do you want him to be then, dear?
He can be what he chooses.
You don't deserve her, sir.
My dear father, if we men marry the women we deserve, we should have a very bad time of it.
Позвольте выразить наше восхищение, нашу искреннюю благодарность за тот необходимый труд, который вы вложили в этот спектакль, за те возможности, которые вы дали нашей профессиональной студии. Спасибо. Сейчас я тут держу пачку грамм, дело в том, что мы обычно на выпускном вечере делали такое, а в прошлом году как-то вот упустили. И поскольку Вася и Маша, наши выпускники, да, сегодня здесь, а также Дима и Федя, я видела их, то мы сегодня осуществим это, а 9 классу еще ждать и ждать, конечно. Да, это понятно. Итак, значит, мы награждаем грамотами за работу в школьном гимназическом театре, а также присваиваем некоторым выпускникам звания, почетные звания. Награждается выпускница классической гимназии Марина Евгеньевна за роли Мелисандры в комедии Алана Милна «Романтический возраст», Аграфены Григорьевны в водевиле «Сологуба беда от нежного сердца», Лагранжа в комедии Мольера «Смешные жеманницы», Леди Пембери в комедии Алана Милна «Мачеха», тети Эмили в комедии Алана Милна «Молодой человек возвращается домой», еще там была Кейт Кэмберли, да, в комедии Милна «Треугольник Кэмберли», Донны Анны в трагедии Пушкина «Каменный гость», госпожи Простаковой в комедии Фанвизина «Недоросль» и леди Макби в комедии Оскара Уайльда «Идеальный муж». И ей присваивается звание выдающейся артистки гимназии. Классической гимназии Василий Челинцев за роли Джервиса Мэллори в комедии Алана Милна «Романтический возраст», Нью-Йоркного Драчуна в комедии Мольера «Смешные жеманницы», Филиппа в комедии Алана Милна «Молодой человек возвращается домой», да, «The Boy Comes Home», Митрофана в комедии Фанвизина «Недоросль», Дон Гуана в трагедии Пушкина «Каменный гость» и лорда Горинга в комедии Оскара Уайльда «Идеальный муж». И ему присваивается звание заслуженного артиста гимназии.
У меня есть еще для Алены, но Алены, по-моему, нет.
Но Алены, по-моему, нет, да? Давай. Так, значит, награждается грамотой Дмитрий Зеленев, выпускник классической гимназии Дмитрий Зеленев. За роль Генри Ноула в комедии Алана Милна «Романтический возраст», Дона Педро де Мендоса в комедии Тюса Малины «Зеленые штаны», дяди Джеймса в комедии Алана Милна «Молодой человек возвращается домой», Цифиркина в комедии Фанвизина «Недоросль» и монаха в трагедии Пушкина «Каменный гость». И ему присваивается звание заслуженного артиста гимназии. Грамотой награждается выпускник классической гимназии Федор Кабинет за роли Бобби Кута в комедии Алана Милна «Романтический возраст», Дона Диего де Солиса в комедии Тирса де Малины «Зеленые штаны», Нью-Йоркного Драчуна в комедии Мольера «Смешные жеманницы», Денниса Кэмберли, пьеса Алана Милна «Треугольник Кэмберли», Кэмберли Triangle, Бардина в комедии Фанвизина «Недоросль» и Дона Карлоса в трагедии Пушкина «Каменный гость».